record on this. All right, so we are being recorded. And now I have to share my screen again, right? Dude, technology. Right? If it were recorded, it'd be better organized. Share screen.
Press.
Boom.
Got it. Let's see. Got it. Uh-oh, what did I do?
And I'm actually going to go in. Oh dear. I may mute some folks if it gets too noisy, but we'll go ahead and get started. All right. So I have some news for you, which hopefully will be mostly good news. The first announcement is that you are not broken. I think the diet industry is broken. This whole industry that fails us over and over again and then, blames the victim, right? If you don't stick to their plan, you're just non-compliant, it's your fault. Like there's usually a reason. If somebody wants to lose weight and they're having trouble, there's a reason. So I would argue, y'all here tonight, you're not broken. It's the diet industry that's broken. Now, most of the clients that I work with, and even folks when they come in on an initial consultation, whether they become clients or not, I usually ask them, like, what do you think the problem is? And I find that most of the time they're solving what I think is the wrong problem, which is why we can't find solutions that work and that are sustainable for us. So tonight, and then for those who continue on in my program, what we're really working on is clearing out what's getting in the way of us doing what we already know how to do, what we already want to do, figuring out what the blocks are. And you'll know that it's working because you're going to feel amazing. You get into that energy of weight loss, that like, I can do this, this is working. Once you get into that, you're on a roll. And a lot of people worry about backsliding because with a lot of traditional weight loss programs, right, we're losing weight when we're on the program, we're not losing weight when we're off the program. It's a whole drama. But the way I teach it, right, people are becoming mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically healthier, which comes from changing the thoughts, the feelings, and the foods that we're using for fuel. And you end up feeling so good you never want to go back. Now, with that being said, you may choose to make occasional exceptions, or you might accidentally make some occasional exceptions. But the idea is that by the end of the program, you're just feeling like a new person. So we're not doing this from a place of suffering. We're doing this because we feel better and because we don't like it just becomes the new normal. I'm actually going to stop sharing just for a second because I felt like I heard somebody ding dong in that I didn't let in. But I think I hallucinated that. All right, everybody there's not anybody in the waiting room. So let me go back to the slides. So that's kind of what we're going to be playing with tonight. And we are going to do some live demos. So we're not just going to look at PowerPoints, we're going to actually play. All right, so next slide, please. There we go. So a little bit about me for those of you who are new to me, new to my work. Just like a regular person, right? I tried all the things that most of us try. I tried Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig. I worked with a dietitian lady. I've had personal trainers off and on over the years. I did this high intensity boot camp, and that actually worked better than anything else, mainly because I felt so ill after I did it that I couldn't really eat anything for dinner. And I was so worried about feeling ill while I was working out. I had a very light lunch, but again, not sustainable. I think the day that I decided to quit that was when the lady right next to me, like live tore her ACL jumping around. And I was like, yep, this looks dangerous. I am now out. So none of the traditional stuff really worked for me long term. If it did work, it was one of those like, while I'm paying attention, while I'm efforting, while I'm using willpower, it worked. As soon as I got distracted with life, it didn't work. So none of the regular stuff really worked for me in a sustainable way. However, I learned some skills that now I teach, and that did make a big difference for me. I lost 50 pounds in 2020 at age 46. And how did I do that? It was through what I learned through a couple of different programs. The biggest one, I am a certified life and weight coach through the Life Coach School. If anybody's familiar with that program, Brooke Castillo, the founder, started her career as a weight coach. So I've been through all of her training. I've got all of her materials. But I don't just use coaching. Coaching is great for the awareness phase, helping people figure out if there are thoughts, feelings, patterns of behavior that are getting in the way. But and I will say, sometimes the awareness is all it takes. Sometimes you go, oh, I didn't realize I was thinking that. That's a terrible thought. And you're instantly able to let it go. However, what I found with just coaching is that a lot of my clients would say, okay, intellectually, I can see that that thought isn't supporting me, but it feels true. And so EFT, which we're going to play with tonight, is one of the best things that I have found for getting rid of that feels true feeling and helping people be able to drop some of those limiting beliefs that are really holding them back. In addition to EFT 1 and 2, I also have taken Hacking Reality, which uses the same tapping technique of regular EFT, but it kind of puts it on steroids, right? So we actually get in and find some of those younger selves and help them so that we are not walking around dealing with all of their feelings on top of all of our feelings, and we can respond in the moment more as a clean, clear, centered adult instead of from that emotional place. So I use that as well. And then I'm also a theta healing practitioner. I just kind of sprinkle that in here and there because it gets a little woo-woo. I come from an IT background, so I get suspicious when it starts to get too weird. But sometimes it just does the trick. So a lot of different techniques and a lot of different training. And I have had, it's great that it works for me. But more importantly, it has worked for my clients as well. Let me see if it'll let me. Oh, there we go. If you go to lisaduke.net/testimonials out on YouTube, I have several testimonials. Looks like there's 9 of them out here. Different folks that I've worked with. So you can check those out on your own time and hear from somebody other than me how it worked for them. So let's move on. All right. Why most weight loss programs fail. So most weight loss programs do not recognize that there are 2 sides to weight loss. There's the math and the drama. And the math is all the stuff that we think about, right? Should I be doing low fat or low carb or I don't think I've ever heard of a low protein diet, but I'm sure it's coming. If it hasn't happened, it will. Tracking macros, keto, points, calories in, calories out, like whatever your system is. I personally think some of them are healthier than others, but at the end of the day, most of those programs will work if you stick with the program. What pretty much all of those programs ignore is the drama. And the drama is all the reasons that we're eating when we aren't even hungry. And that's what keeps the math of whatever your chosen favorite program is from working. So it's especially sort of insidious because not only do their programs not address why people are struggling, but they make their failure your fault. I kind of said that at the beginning. So most programs are selling a plan or a product. What I'm doing is different. It's skills that you're going to be learning that you can use on your own. And it's services that I'm providing to help support you and help kind of clear out what's getting in the way. So a little bit different than what most people are familiar with. All right, so what exactly do I mean by the drama? And it's a lot. And not everybody has everything, but these are some common patterns that I see. And I'm not going to deep dive in all of these, but eating based on the clock, right? Well, I have to eat because it's breakfast and I eat breakfast at this time even every day. Like, well, hang on. If you're not hungry and you're trying to lose weight, why are you forcing yourself to eat if it doesn't even, like some people kind of feel a little nauseous in the morning. Like, why are you forcing yourself to eat if you feel nauseous? Makes no sense. Now, I'm not saying everybody has to give up breakfast, right? I've had some clients, early risers, they get up, they work out, they're hungry in the morning. That's okay. But we need to be more and more tuning into, does my body need fuel? And less, am I eating because of something my mom said 30 years ago? Is that a good reason? So just like the clock, the time of the day, the calendar, the time of the year. Well, I have to overeat because it's the holidays, because it's, chocolate on Valentine's Day, or because it's Easter. We're getting ready to come up to summer, 4th of July, Memorial Day, picnics, Labor Day, all of these kind of frankly fake and made up events that we have associated with overeating. It's not a good reason. Company, right? So people pleasing. I have to eat because my Aunt Susie made it. And if I don't eat it, it'll hurt her feelings. Clean plate club is a big one that a lot of us were raised with. I have to eat now because people are starving in China, or there was deprivation during World War I and World War II. Like, none of that is relevant today. And reinforcing our own cravings. Like, when we reward that craving, we just reinforce it, make it stronger. So sometimes we're the one doing the training. A new one I heard of the other day was preventative eating. I better eat now so I don't get hungry later. And I will say there are some times when this is a legitimate reason, right? If you have some kind of a job where, I don't know, you stand in front of Queen Elizabeth's palace for 8 hours and you're not allowed to like move or interact with, I guess it's King Charles's palace. But anyway, you know what I mean? If you're like not allowed to interact with other humans or go to the bathroom, okay, you might need to eat ahead of time so you get hungry. But most of us, like, just wait until you're hungry and then have something. You don't necessarily have to eat preventatively ahead of time. So a lot of these kind of just like fake made up reasons to eat. Another big category is emotional eating, and I would include stress eating in that, right? Stress is an emotion. So I see a lot of people that really love the salty, crunchy, really love the sweets, eating because we're bored, eating because we're restless. I was talking to a client the other day, and we figured out one of the reasons that she likes to eat in the mid-afternoon is because in her mind, she's only allowed to eat during work hours. She's only allowed to have a break during work hours if there's food involved. If it's just like, I kind of need a break. I've been doing this for a while. My brain is tired. She was not, and it was not like a rule. She works from home. So she absolutely could grab her cell phone and still be 100% available, go for a walk around the neighborhood, go get some tea, something like that. But she in her mind just had this rule of, well, I can only take a break if I'm eating. So not a legitimate rule at all. Trapped emotions, unhappy younger selves, crappy self-talk, limiting beliefs, all kinds of stuff that we see come up that drives us to eat when we're not hungry and stops us from losing weight. So then the question becomes, okay, what do we do about the drama? And I have developed a proprietary weight loss methodology that I use as a framework to help clients figure out what's getting in the way and deal with it. The first is the awareness piece, which, I kind of mentioned in passing. Sometimes it's just, we talk about mindful eating, and a lot of people are doing the opposite. They're just doing kind of mindless eating, right? I was just eating because the chips were there and the football was on, and because I always eat a snack after dinner. So starting to bring some awareness to, okay, why are we eating when we're not hungry? How easy is that to cut out? If awareness doesn't take care of it by itself, then the next piece is clearing. And this is sometimes a little bit deeper work. So what are the root causes? If we're eating to feel better, why do we feel bad, right? And really figuring, I lost my mouse. There we go. Really figuring out what's driving that. So as those root causes are identified, you learn the skills and get the services you need to clear those out of the way. So just you feel better as a default, and you don't need to eat to feel better because you already feel okay. And then the last E originally was for energy, but it's also education. So my program really combines the left brain, logical, analytical, and a little bit of the right brain, creative, spiritual, kind of the woo-woo piece, so that you get both, which I think makes it most effective. And that's really what gets you into that energy of weight loss, that place where you're like, okay, it's working. I can do this. I'm making progress. Sometimes there's setbacks, sometimes there wins, but I'm doing it. Once you get to that place, then like I said, you're off to the races. All right, so tonight we're going to practice clearing using EFT. So a little cliff notes, and you can Google this if you want more, but I have found if I skip too much of the setup, people are like, whoa, what are we doing? So a little bit of background on what EFT is. There was a therapist out in California who was also studying traditional Chinese medicine, and they have this concept of the meridians, that they're these energy channels, and by using acupuncture, acupressure, that we can move energy through the body. And, you know, I honestly don't know that much about traditional Chinese medicine. On the one hand, right, if a group of people have found it helpful for thousands of years, probably there's something to it. On the other hand, like, I don't know anything about it. So I need more than one explanation for me to be happy about how this is working. But it's really kind of common sense. If you think about it, when, you know, our dog is upset, we pat the dog to calm it down. If a horse spooks, like, they're there, it's okay. If a baby is upset, we'll, you know, pat the baby to calm the baby. So there's just something, I don't know if it's mammals specifically, but there's something about that touch. It's probably the same reason that massage works. There's something about that pat, that touch, that's very calming. And so, right, even if we throw Chinese medicine out the window, that makes sense. I was reading the other day this, I don't know if anybody's familiar with the Noom book, and they go into a psychology-based explanation that I think works into how EFT works as well. So they're talking about cognitive fusion and cognitive diffusion. Cognitive fusion is a term for what happens when your thoughts trigger such strong emotions that you fuse with the thoughts and believe they are inner truths. Cognitive diffusion is a method for disconnecting the thought from the feeling or emotion so you can see it more clearly and separate yourself from it. And one of the ways that they recommend to detach the emotion from the thought is just to say it over and over again. You'll repeat the thought so many times that you wear out the emotion you've attached to the thought until only the words remain and you don't feel so attached to them. So 3 totally different explanations for why this could be helpful. So with that being said, I'm going to kind of show you the tapping points, and then we'll get into actually doing live demos and practicing this. So when we start, if you look kind of, let's see, get in the camera, this kind of meaty part on the side of your hand, you tap on the side of the hand, and we always do a setup statement. And the setup statement is, even though, and we kind of fill in the blank with the problem, and then we add a tag on the end. And the one that's usually recommended is, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Now, for some people, that's just a bridge too far, not a problem. Most people can at least get to, I am safe in this moment. Presumably, if you're not safe where you are, that should be your priority, right? But if you've got the time to be on the Zoom call, probably you're physically safe in this moment. So we can at least get that far. And then once we've done that original tapping statement, we start tapping on the thoughts and the feelings that come up in relation to the issue. So the tapping points are the top of the head, inside corner of the eyebrow, outside corner of the eyebrow, this little bone kind of under your eye, right under your nose, the little dent in your chin, the collarbone. And then if you come, slide this back so you guys can see. If you kind of come from your nipples down to right where the underwire is on either side, right where your underwire is one of the spots. And then right in the middle, this is my bra band here, kind of right in the middle of your bra band is another spot there. The inside of the wrists and the outside of the wrists. And I will say, if you follow along with different videos online, sometimes you will get slightly different spots recommended. This is a very forgiving tool, so I wouldn't worry too much about whether or not you did it right. I will also say too that if you are trying to DIY this and you're very concerned about doing it wrong, you can do it without any words. There's a lot of times, and you don't have to go through all the points. A lot of times when I'm sitting in traffic, I'm tapping right on that collarbone If I'm getting it all tense in the traffic, right? I'm kind of tapping on the collarbone, whew, just to calm myself down while I'm sitting in traffic. So you can do this very discreetly, and it's a very forgiving tool. So I am going to give you some things to start with. So these are the sentences we're going to start playing with today. And these actually come from, it's always like book club here. These actually come from one of my teacher's books. This is 7 Secret Reasons Why You Can't Lose Weight and Keep It Off by Rob Nelson. This is, Rob is he taught me hacking reality. He kind of developed that methodology. And he learned EFT from Gary Craig, who really is the founder of EFT. So pretty close to the source. And he has a list of limiting beliefs around weight. So I've just taken a couple of those that we're going to play with tonight. So what I would like you to do, preferably write it down someplace. If you don't have a pen and paper handy, you can put it on like your phone, in notes, or in like a draft email. For these 3 sentences, how true do they feel to you? And this is on a scale of 0%, like I totally don't believe that, or 100%, yes, it's absolutely true, I don't believe anybody who says otherwise, or maybe it's, at least for me, it's 100% true. So for these 3 sentences, 0 to 100, how true they feel. And these are the 3 that we're going to work on today. No matter what I try, nothing ever works for me. So 0% true, 100% true, 50% would be like, it's true half the time. Like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So anywhere along that, how true does that feel? The second one is I'd have to give up my favorite foods, so it's not worth it. How true does that one feel? And the last one is now isn't a good time. So we'll let you guys take just a moment to kind of noodle on that, see what you think. And then I would like a volunteer to play with this with me. And my request would be somebody new who hasn't worked with me before, and preferably somebody who has one of these 3 statements that they think is 80% true or higher. And we're going to practice. So I'm going to turn off the slides for a minute so I can see y'all. So is anybody willing to come on? Kimberly, yay. Or is it just, it's Kimberly?
It's Kimber.
Okay. Yeah, gotcha.
Thanks,
yeah, nice to meet you. Where do you, I'm just nosy now. This is not relevant, but where do you live?
I'm in Chicago.
Oh, cool. Okay.
How about you?
I am in Florida. So we're on the east coast of Florida, the Atlantic side. We're almost as far down as Palm Beach, but the next county up from Palm Beach County. So, and we moved down here in 2019 from Metro Atlanta. That's where I did most of my adulting. So, all right. So Chicago, and my brain like really wanted to chase that. I'm like, ooh, deep dish pizza. So it looks like that's not your problem. Okay, perfect. That's at least one thing you don't have to contend with. So, all right, out of those 3 statements, which one was like the most true for you? Which one seemed the strongest?
The second one about missing my favorite foods.
Okay. I'm just going to flip it up for me. I'd have to give up my favorite foods.
That's like 300% for me.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just writing it down so I don't have to flip back and forth. Perfect. So 300% true. All right. So tell me a little bit more about that. What are the favorite foods? What's going on there? We already know it's not deep dish pizza.
I apologize for my voice. I'm a foodie. I love food. I love experimenting. I love going to new restaurants and
I have like major FOMO if I see stuff and I don't like if I see on Instagram a restaurant in New York and I can't get there for whatever reason, like major FOMO. Um and the idea of having to give up like I love coffee with my cream, you know.
Yeah.
Um I love warm comfort
Comforting
drinks
food.
and that sort of thing. So the idea of like and sadly like I this is so embarrassing, but like I don't like to be I don't like to be told to shoot, I can't think of the word. I don't like to be told to limit, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
So, you know, I love to have I want what I want when I want it and as much of it as I want.
Yeah.
And um and that's just become a real issue, obviously.
Yeah. So was there, and I'm not going to go too deep into childhood because that's a whole separate thing, but did that start pretty early, that whole somebody else trying to tell you what to do thing?
Yeah, I mean, I was always my mother was always like, you know, I didn't make those chocolate covered pretzels for you. Those are for your stepdad. You really don't, do you really think you should have another one? Like all kinds of like kind of I mean, I know she was trying to be helpful, but it was just in my mind, it was just criticism, you
Yeah.
know, and she was right, but nevertheless, it just made me feel bad.
Yeah. 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 So was it like a little bit of feeling of deprivation too? Or is that now like if I have to give everything up, I'll be deprived?
Yeah, I mean, that's how I feel right now.
Yeah. Are you working on trying to lose weight right now? Is it something you should do, or is it something you feel like you're actively working on?
No, I'm working on it now, but I'm good for 2 days and then I just fall apart. And so I saw your ad on I think Instagram and I'm like, no, worth a listen for sure. So
Yeah. Cool. Well, welcome.
thank you.
All right, let's play with it a little bit and just kind of see what happens. So which one is what kind of, well, let's just start with the sentence that I gave you, and then hopefully that'll resonate for some of the other folks as well, because they hopefully have and I will say, if you have this belief, but you're not necessarily on the hot seat, I would encourage I would encourage everybody to follow along. It's practice. So you're kind of building the muscle memory of how to do it so you can do it more easily later on your own. Secondly, even if you don't have this belief, like it's going to calm your nervous system anyway, and calmer in this day and age, like I don't know anybody who wouldn't be served by being a little calmer right now. Everybody is like so busy, so stressed. So even if you don't have this, I would encourage, you're not required, but I would invite and encourage you to follow along to practice the tapping. If you do have this one, hopefully you have your number written down. But as we go through and we check back in, when I check back in with Kimber, see if yours has shifted as well. It might not. Either way is fine. But it'll be interesting to see where everybody starts and where they end up. All right. So what we're going to do, and let me ask, does the I deeply and completely love and accept myself, does that sound okay? Or is that like, yeah, I'm not that?
No, it sounds okay. I mean, if you're asking me, I'm
Yeah.
fine with that.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Because sometimes people are like, yeah, no, which is a whole separate topic, but that's good. We're starting with a certain baseline of like being nice to yourself, which always
So
helps.
you said number, and I think I miss that
You said 300%.
well, yeah, I
So
mean,
I wrote it down for you.
okay. So it's that we're looking at it with percentage in mind. Okay.
For this, yeah, for this exercise. All right. So on the side of your hand, and repeat after me. Oh, and that's one other thing. Sorry. If I say something, I'm going to mostly start with your words, but if I throw in something else and it doesn't resonate, don't say it just to be polite. And also, let's try not to go too much into the story. Just like correct me and we'll keep going. That won't hurt my feelings at all. All right. So on the side of the hand, repeat after me. Even though I can't lose weight because I'd have to give up my favorite foods,
Even though I can't lose weight because I'd have to give up my favorite foods,
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
Yeah. Hang on just a second. All right. So top of the head. I'd have to give up my favorite foods, so it's just not worth it.
I'd have to give up my favorite foods, so it's just not worth it.
Yep. Inside corner of the eyebrow, I'm not giving up my favorite foods.
I'm not giving up my favorite foods.
Outside corner of the eyebrow, screw that.
Screw that.
Under your eye, it's just not worth it.
It's just not worth it.
Under your nose, I'm a foodie.
I'm a foodie.
Yep. A little dent in your chin. I get FOMO just from knowing there's a restaurant in New York I can't go to.
I get FOMO just from knowing there's a restaurant in New York I can't get to.
Yep. And your collarbone. So saying no to food right in front of me, that's not happening.
Say no to food in front of me, that's not happening.
Yep. And then this little point on your underwire right down from your nipples. I just love food.
Just love food.
Yep. And then right in the middle of your bra band, I don't want to be deprived.
I don't want to be deprived.
Yep. I mean, I can be good for 2 days,
I mean, I can be good for 2 days,
but then it all falls apart.
then it all falls apart.
Yep. Top of the head. I'm just a foodie.
I'm just a foodie. We don't go back to that.
No, not that. Just as a setup statement at the beginning. So, yep, I'm just a foodie.
Just a foodie.
Food is a very important part of my identity.
Food is a very important part of my identity.
Now that I'm saying out loud, that's kind of weird,
Now that I'm saying it out loud, it's kind of weird,
but it's true.
but it's true.
Yeah, I like to try new things.
I like to try new things,
Yep, and that's a good quality.
and that's a good quality.
I like to explore new restaurants,
I like to explore new restaurants,
and that's fun,
and that's fun.
but it's kind of become a problem now.
Kind of become a problem now
Yeah, because I don't weigh what I want to weigh,
because I don't weigh what I want to weigh.
and I don't look the way I want to look.
I don't look the way I want to look.
But if I have to give up my favorite foods, forget it.
If I have to give up my favorite foods, then forget it.
Yep, I am out.
I am out.
It's just not worth it.
It's just not worth it.
I mean, if I get so unhealthy I die, I'll have to give up my favorite foods.
Well, I get so unhealthy, I die. I'll have to give up my favorite. Well, do I? I get my favorite foods.
That's actually a good question. We don't know. So let me
No
not assert
calories in
that.
heaven.
There's no calories in heaven. I'll back away from that statement a little bit. All right. Under the nose. I want my coffee with cream.
I want my cream with my coffee.
Yeah. I like warm, comforting foods.
I love warm, comforting foods.
And I don't like to be told to limit.
And I don't like to be told to limit.
So if this is a diet, I am out.
So if this is a diet, I am out.
I want my warm, comforting foods.
I want my warm, comforting foods.
And I want to have as much as I want.
And I want as much as I want.
I don't like to be told to limit.
I don't like to be told to limit.
And I don't appreciate that my mom used to tell me that.
I don't appreciate that my mom used to tell me that.
Yeah. You said they were chocolate covered pretzels?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Making chocolate covered pretzels and telling a kid that they can't have them, that's messed up.
Making chocolate covered pretzels and telling a kid she can't have any, that's messed up.
I mean, that's borderline child abuse.
I mean, that's borderline child abuse.
That was not right.
Was that right?
Yeah. She's making them for my stepdad, but not for me.
Making them for my stepdad and not me.
That's kind of weird.
That's weird and abusive.
And part of me knows she was trying to help.
I know that she was trying to help.
Yeah, but it backfired.
It backfired.
Yep. That's part of my problem now.
That's my problem now.
Yep. I am just not giving up my favorite foods.
It's not giving up my favorite foods.
Yep. She used to say stuff to me all the time,
She used to say stuff to me all the time,
and it just felt like criticism.
and it just felt like criticism.
Yeah. So I'd have to sit there and look at those chocolate covered pretzels. What's up with that?
So I'd have to look at those chocolate covered pretzels. What's up with that?
Yep. And I felt so deprived.
And I felt so deprived.
Like, does she love my stepdad more than me? That's messed up.
She loved my stepdad more than me. That's messed up.
Yeah. I wanted those chocolate covered pretzels, dang it.
I wanted those chocolate covered pretzels, dang it.
But I couldn't do anything about it when I was a kid.
I couldn't do anything about it when I was a kid.
But now I'm the grown up.
But now I'm the grown up.
So I'm going to eat whatever I want whenever I want.
So I'm gonna eat whatever I want when I want.
Hang on. That doesn't sound very grown up.
Hang on. That doesn't sound very grown up.
That sounds like a little kid.
Sounds like a little kid.
Yeah. Maybe some of this is coming from that younger self.
Maybe some of this is coming from that younger self.
Yeah. Maybe we can get her some help.
Maybe we can get her some help.
And maybe that'll help me.
Maybe that'll help me.
But probably not.
Probably not.
Because I don't care what else is available. At some point, you're still going to have to cut out your favorite foods.
I don't care what else is available. At some point, I'm going to have to cut out my favorite foods.
And that is just a deal breaker for me.
And that is a deal breaker for me.
Yep. I just love food.
I just love food.
I love it probably more than I should.
I love it more than I should.
Yeah. Sorry, my brain wanted to go in 4 different directions. But I'm just a foodie.
I'm just a foodie.
This is kind of my thing.
It's my thing.
Yep. Has been for a long time.
Has been for a long time.
Probably not going to change.
Probably not going to change.
But maybe it could.
Maybe it could.
I'm open to the possibility.
Open to the possibility.
That's why I'm here.
That's why I'm here.
So maybe there's a way to lose weight without totally giving up my favorite foods.
So maybe there's a way to lose weight without totally giving up my favorite foods.
But I'm not going into deprivation, so we have to watch out for that.
I need to learn to better manage portion control.
Ah, okay. Yeah, so let's tap on that a little bit. I need to better manage portion control.
I need to better manage portion control. And I need to be okay with it
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
relaxed about it.
yeah. The dent on your chin. That might be possible,
It might be possible.
or maybe not,
Maybe not.
but it could be.
It could be.
And the possibility is exciting.
And the possibility is exciting.
Yeah, I'm having a little more hope now.
I'm having a little more hope now.
So maybe there's some possibilities.
So maybe there's some possibilities.
All right, let's kind of pause right there. So that sentence, I'd have to give up my favorite food, so it's not worth it. How true does that feel now?
In my head, it's like 50%. But I'm calm now. Because I think it's like when it's dinner time or when I'm starving, it's like I don't always make the best choices. So
Gotcha.
right now it's 50%, but in the heat of it, it's still higher.
Yep, that makes sense. And did you get like a little yawn there?
Did I?
Oh, no, I don't know. I was asking.
Mm-mm.
Okay, I thought you were getting ready to yawn. If you do, if anybody does, that's good. That means you're moving energy. And if you don't yawn, it doesn't, like, don't worry about that. But that's what I thought was happening there. All Power of suggestion.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's gone from 300% true to 50% true. And I don't know if you heard it, but you did kind of start, and I don't know that you were sold on this being like a fun thing or a possible thing, but you did kind of go from I'd have to give up my favorite foods to, well, I'd have to limit them, portion control. So even then, there was a little shift of like, and not excited about limiting, that's okay. But at least seeing like, okay, maybe I don't have to give them up. Maybe I could do like a portion control
Yeah.
and still have them every now and again, right? Or have them less frequently, and I generally try not to tell people, like, we all kind of know. I'm guessing the favorite foods that you're having trouble giving up, it's probably not kale. Right? Like nobody is like, I just struggle with my love for kale, right?
But
It's
that, oh, I'm sorry, but
go
that
ahead.
those words came like, yes, I knew that portion control is the thing, but the idea that, oh, that's right, I could do that, came as we were tapping, it's kind of like, yeah, it kind of gradually came back to my mind. I'm like, you know what? You don't have to give everything up.
Yeah. Yeah. And this just proves like how quick our brains will switch teams.
Yeah.
And it makes no sense. It's not logical at all, right? Like to go from I'd have to give up my favorite food, so it's not worth it, to, well, probably I could do some portion control, and that you came up with that on your own. That's your brain like switching teams. And as soon as your brain gets on like the healthy living team, then you're not working against it so much. And you're right, it may come back. It'll give you like 8 other excuses or reasons, but you're at least kind of seeing like, okay, there was a shift. So I'd like to get you from 50% down, like they say, to try to aim for below 30% or lower to really like help it start to change you going forward. But I want to take you off the hot seat and practice with somebody else and keep tapping and see as we go if it shifts for you a little bit more. Sometimes just like not being on the hot seat, then people can relax, and that helps too.
Before I mute myself, can you tell me the author's name for 7
Yeah.
Secret Responses?
7 Secret Reasons
Hold
Why
on.
You Can't Lose Weight and Keep It Off. Rob Nelson. And it's
Rob
on,
Nelson,
yep, it's on
MS.
Amazon.
Oh, Rob Nelson,
Yeah.
MS.
I don't know what the MS is for. Maybe like,
Master of Science, probably.
that's what I would guess. I don't know
Cool.
in
Thank
what,
you.
but yeah. Okay. So does anybody, and I know we've tapped on it a lot, does anybody have this one still? And this can be open to a current client as well. Does anybody still have this one, let's say, higher than 30% that is willing to come on and volunteer? I see
Can you
Donna.
see me, Donna? It's Donna.
Yes, I can see you and hear you.
Yeah, mine was not 300%, but it was definitely 100%.
Okay. And what's it at now?
I'm with Kimberly. 50%.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about it. Like, what does your brain have to say about, I'd have to give up my favorite foods, so it's not worth it. What does your brain have to say about that?
My brain says, maybe I'm not worth it.
Oh, tell me more about that.
Maybe. Like I don't care. It's not really worth it, but it's really that maybe I'm not worth it because I know eating well and nutritionally and losing weight, it's all about health, especially as we age.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so but everything that you did, Kimberly and Lisa, I just, wow, I said this is bullseye.
Yeah. Yeah. Very similar.
Oh my God.
So why is it not worth it? If health is important as you get older, are you like not good enough to be healthy, or you're just too far gone, or why are you not worth it?
I'm not sure, but I resonated with that, how quick our brain can switch teams.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm moving along and my brother-in-law just had a massive heart attack last week at age 70. come on, that's a wake-up call,
Yeah,
right?
it's really scary.
But
Yeah.
I had ice cream after lunch today.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Let's throw that in there.
By the way, I'm working with Lisa, everybody. She's terrific, but I still
Oh,
have my
thank you.
stuff.
All right. So ice cream after lunch. It's not worth giving that up to be healthy.
Yes, it is.
Part of you knows that, but part of you is like, I don't know.
Right.
So tell me more about why the ice cream is so good.
You know, I haven't had it for a while,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah, which is
And
progress because there for a while you were having it every day after lunch. So that's
yes,
progress.
and I was away this weekend and had no ice cream. I was
Mhm.
pretty good this weekend and all that. But why did I have it? Well, my husband had it,
Mhm.
and then you know, he eats ice cream every day, and I just sort of took a couple spoonfuls and put it in a bowl and ate it.
Yeah.
Now, is it the end all and be all? No. It's just maybe I think I deserve it or something. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know. That's why I'm working with you.
Yeah. We're just seeing what your brain throws out. Like sometimes stuff will fly out of my mouth that I did not know was in there. So, well, that's probably enough right there. Let me ask about the feelings. Like what emotions are coming up even now as we're talking about it or earlier when you were eating the ice cream? Anything you can identify?
Yes, I shouldn't be doing this, but I'm doing it anyway.
Okay, tell me why.
I feel badly that I'm doing this, and actually it's an initial smooth, creamy, cold, and then half an hour later, I'm going, what did I do that for? It didn't do anything for me, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Yeah. So
but I
what
do
was
it
so
anyway.
good about the smooth, creamy cold? Why was that so good?
I don't know, I find it satisfying. I don't know. I
At
just, you
least
know.
temporarily, right?
Yeah, and it's also a habit. You and I have been through that. It's a habit too.
Yep. Okay, let's
You know
tap
what
on
I
it.
do? Let me just say what I do.
Yeah.
I make a portion controlled delicious lunch
Okay. Yeah.
because I'm trying to do that and practice mindful eating.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also in the back of my mind saying, oh, I just had a lovely little small, I'm not starving, just a nice portion controlled lunch. So therefore I deserve some ice cream.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. God,
Our brains are ridiculous. I also have a ridiculous brain.
what a traitor I am to my team.
Right? Well, because you did so good for lunch and then you're just immediately like sabotaging it.
Rewarding myself. I think I'm rewarding myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's tap on it a little bit. All
I don't
right.
want to say I'm hopeless. See, this is what happens when you get older.
You think you're hopeless?
A little bit.
Okay.
Sometimes about this weight thing.
Okay. But it's because you're older?
If I give it, I used to successfully lose weight in the past, keep it off for a while. It always came back, but it's still, now I just feel like, I don't know, sometimes I feel kind of, I do care, but I'm not willing to give it the real, that's why we need to knock some sense into me.
Yeah. Well, and let me show you something that might make you feel better.
And by the way, ladies, my face isn't that heavy, okay? But the rest of me is.
So just because we don't think you look that bad, you want to make sure we still know it is that bad.
Yes, it is. I'm about 55 pounds overweight. So.
But I'm going to show you something that might make you feel a little better. I got to share my screen. Zoom.
Donna, where do you live?
Screen.
I'm right near Lisa. I am in Vero Beach, Florida.
She is just north of me. So Donna, we've talked, and I don't want to go into it too much, but we've talked about like guilt and shame.
Yes.
And you know what's right above guilt and shame is apathy. So
Say
believe
that
it or
again?
not, so you see the bottom on this energetic scale. Can you see the energetic scale?
Yes.
Yep. The bottom is guilt and shame. And now you're up to apathy, which is actually progress.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So you're not where you want to be, right? We got to get you up to like either fear or desire. You either got to get like so afraid of the heart attack that you are moved into action,
I'm
or
pretty
so
fearful
excited
right
about like wanting to feel better, wanting to look better. But we are making progress. We're working. And the more of that guilt and shame that gets cleared, the more we just kind of naturally float up. So as long as you don't give up in the apathy phase, you actually are making progress. So, all right, let's tap on this. So on the side of your hand. So, and we'll start back with the original one. Even though I'd have to give up my food so it's not worth it, I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
Even though I have to get, I'm sorry, even though I have to,
Give up my favorite food so it's not worth
my
it.
favorite foods, I'm sorry,
So it's not worth it.
so it's not worth it.
I deeply and completely love and
I
accept myself.
deeply accept and love myself.
Perfect. Top of the head. You know, I just don't care.
You know, I just don't care.
Yep. Inside corner of the eyebrow. It's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Yep. All this apathy.
All this apathy.
I mean, I've been trying for a while and it's not worked yet. So who cares?
I've been trying for a while and it hasn't worked yet. So who cares? I mean,
Yep.
mhm.
Yep. I'm in my 70s. It's probably too far gone at this point anyway.
You're laughing.
She looks
I'm
good
in
for in
my
her
70s.
70s though, y'all, doesn't she?
I'm in my 70s. I'm probably too far gone anyway.
Yeah. I'm just not worth it.
I'm just not worth it.
Not totally sure what it is, but I'm pretty sure I'm not worth it.
I'm not sure what it is, but I'm pretty sure I might not be worth it.
Yep. That's why I had ice cream after lunch.
That's why I had ice cream after lunch.
I mean, my husband had it,
Well, I mean, my husband had it,
and so I should have it too.
so I should have it too.
Especially if it just doesn't matter.
Especially if it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, and especially if I just don't care.
Especially if I just don't care.
I mean, I deserve it.
I mean, I deserve it.
I went to a lot of effort to have a healthy lunch.
I went to a lot of effort to have a healthy lunch.
And mathematically, that means I now deserve something unhealthy.
Mathematically, that means I now deserve something unhealthy
Wait,
after that good lunch.
yeah, wait, that doesn't make sense.
Wait, that doesn't make sense.
But it seemed very true at the time.
But at the time, it seemed very true.
I definitely deserved it.
I definitely deserve that.
I knew that I shouldn't be doing it, but I did it anyway.
I knew I shouldn't be doing it, but I did it anyway.
It was smooth and creamy and cold,
It was smooth and creamy and cold,
and it was really satisfying.
and it was really satisfying, but only for 2 minutes.
Yeah, for 2 minutes. And then I was kind of mad at myself.
Then I was kind of mad at myself
Yeah, because it kind of messed up my healthy lunch.
because it kind of messed up my healthy lunch. Exactly.
But I just don't care.
But I just don't care.
It's not even worth it.
It's not even worth it.
It's just a habit.
It's a habit.
Yeah. I've kind of trained myself to make this a pattern.
I have trained myself to make this a pattern.
Yep. I feel that urge and I reward it.
I feel that urge and I go reward it.
Yep. If I were training a dog, that would be how you do it.
If I were training a dog, that would be how I would do it.
That's how they train the dolphins at SeaWorld.
That's how they train the dolphins at SeaWorld.
You do a trick, you get a fish.
You, you do a trick, you get a fish. Oh
Yep.
my God.
So when I feel an urge and I reward it, I just reinforce it.
Okay, so when I feel that urge, I reward myself and just reinforce it.
Yep. And that's not really what I want to be doing.
And that's not really what I want to be doing,
But it felt good in the moment.
but it felt good in the moment.
And who cares about tomorrow?
And who cares about tomorrow? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I don't even really deserve it.
And I don't really even deserve it.
I deserved the ice cream,
I deserve the ice cream,
but I don't know if I deserve to be healthy.
But I don't know if I deserve to be healthy. Ooh, that's a big one.
Yeah, let's tap on that a little bit. I don't know if I deserve to be healthy.
I don't know if I deserve to be healthy.
Yeah. I probably deserve to be unhealthy.
Uh-oh. I probably deserve to be unhealthy.
I mean, I keep messing up
I mean, I keep messing up
and I can't be pretty.
and I can't be pretty.
I mean, I do have nice hair. We've talked about this privately with everybody else. They're like,
do have
what? Why
nice
did she bring
hair.
up her hair? Yeah. But I don't deserve to be pretty overall.
I don't deserve to be pretty overall.
Yeah. I'm just hopeless.
I'm just hopeless.
That's why I have to reward myself for having a healthy lunch.
That's why I have to reward myself for for having a healthy lunch.
Doesn't really make much sense, but it did at the time.
Doesn't really make much sense, but it did at the time.
Yeah. I used to at least be able to lose it in the past.
In the past, I used to be able to lose weight.
Yeah, but that's over now.
That's over now.
I wonder if in the past I thought I deserved to lose weight.
Ah, I wonder in the past if I thought I deserved to lose weight.
Yeah, let's kind of pause right there. And then I do want to kind of move on. But what if we go back to this? I'd have to give up my favorite food, so it's not worth it. How true does that feel now, percent-wise?
Pretty low at the moment.
Okay. What number would you guess?
20%,
Yeah.
just to be practical.
Yeah. Right. And you definitely don't have to. You don't have to give up the ice cream after lunch all the time. A couple
Right.
of spoonfuls isn't the end of the world, but
Right.
it's just trying not to let it be a habit again.
Exactly.
Right? That's where we get into trouble. So there's more to explore there. Remind me next time we get together around the like what has shifted that I deserved to lose weight then, but I don't deserve it now, the not deserving to be healthy. There's lots more to dig into. But for time, I think I'm going to go ahead and move on. So,
But
Kimber,
thank you very much, Lisa. That was great.
you're welcome. Kimber, are you willing to share if your number shifted at all while Donna was on the hot seat? Are you willing to share what your number is now?
Yeah, I would say I'm probably about 25-30%.
Perfect.
I definitely feel much calmer about it. Thank you.
Perfect. Yay. And obviously, right, like there is more to deal with here. We all have more than one belief going on, but we at least can kind of see like how it all works. So, what I want to do next is share a little bit of information about the program. So, for those of you, I mean, you're welcome to stay on, but if anybody is like, yep, I'm already a client, or I already know I don't want to be a client, then it's not going to hurt my feelings if you want to drop off. But for those who want to stay, I will give you a little bit more information on that. All right. So if anybody is like, yes, I'm ready to go, the first step, the next step is just a free conversation where we would jump on Zoom one-on-one and talk about specifically what is going on for you personally. Let me put it back in slideshow mode. I think I got the hang of it now. I will forget again by next month, but for now. Right. So for those who are like, yes, I'm ready to go. This is cool. I want to learn more, or I have questions and I don't want to bring them up publicly, or I don't know if this will work for me. Anything like that, free one-on-one live Zoom conversation. It'll be just like this. I will be sitting here. I will probably have a different outfit on, but there will be fewer attendees, but you and I will jump on and get some more information. And the way to sign up for that is to go to lisaduke.net/schedule. Now, because I work with people, this is live one-on-one. You know, there's only so many hours in the day. I do limit how many clients I work with at a time. Right now, I do have 3 spots open. That, of course, changes over time, but right now I do. So let me give you a little bit more information on the program. So my program, call it Weight University. It is a 16-session program that guarantees you will look and feel better or your money back. So we're definitely in, we both have skin in the game with that money back guarantee. So a little bit about how we start. Like I said, that initial consultation is free. If you want to move forward at that, you would purchase your first package, schedule your first session. A lot of the times on that initial consultation, people will ask me, well, what do we do in the first session? The very first paid session, we do a goal setting. We talk about where you are, where you want to go. And I start teaching you tools right away that we can use together going forward, that you can use on your own to really get you moving toward your goal. So we'll put some things in place. And I will say you are in charge as a client. I do, try to nudge people in the direction that I think is best and give some guidance, but there are no burpees. It's very gentle. And then starting with the second session, I like to always start off with the wins for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's fun for me. Number two, it trains your brain to start looking for evidence that it's working, and that actually helps it to work better. So we start with what's working, and then we get into what is not working. And that's where I bring the tools out of the tool bag to help you kind of clear out what's getting in the way. We heard some about like moms get in the way a lot, feelings get in the way a lot. So we use a lot of those tools to start working on that. And then we typically go through a curriculum topic each session. So then people will say, well, what's in the curriculum? I had somebody that had not seen this list say to me, like, well, I probably know everything that you're going to teach already. And surely some of you know some of it, but I don't know that it's a very eclectic collection of things that I've learned through a lot of different trainings and a lot of research. It is not going to be, I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not going to tell you that vegetables are good for you. You already know about vegetables. You already know about walking. That's not what I teach. It's much more what's going on with your brain, how to get your brain supporting you instead of undermining you. So these are some of the things that we cover. And then what is included. So each package, when you sign up, you buy a package, and that's 4 one-on-one private live 60-minute long sessions via Zoom. And then during the time when you have that package, the idea is those sessions are weekly, so it's roughly a month. You can also email me anytime. Good news, bad news, when you get stuck, any kind of drama. I prefer email, but email me whenever you want. And then the supporting materials for the topics we cover in those 4 sessions, you get lifetime access to that. So, it's not something you have to download it right away and it goes away. A year from now, if you want to look back at those materials, they'll be out there, for the foreseeable future. I don't have any plans to take them down. A lot of them are private links on YouTube. So as long as you have the private link, you can get to them. Some of them are like workshop sheets, things like that. So you can always go back and review later on. After your 4 sessions, at the end of your 4th session, we're going to have a conversation. And if you want to continue, you would purchase another 4-pack. I don't do auto pay. I find it's wise not to surprise people with money stuff. Like people have money drama. That's a whole separate coaching program. But you're going to go at your own pace. I do encourage people to go once a week and to do all 4 packages back to back, but you're in charge. And if you do all 4 sessions back to back, your price is going to stay the same. So if you start now at today's price and in 3 months I raise the price, it'll be the same for you as you go through. If somebody works with me for a month, you come back 6 months or a year later, you're going to pick up that price. But if I change the price for the new people coming in, you're going to stay with your same price the whole time, assuming you carry on through. And I do guarantee the results. My guarantee is that you will look and feel better for up to a year after you complete the program, or I will give you your money back. So to be eligible for that, you do actually have to pay me 4 times. You have to come to the sessions that you have paid for. You have to, give it a good try, but it's not a trick. It's not like, oh, you didn't do the burpees, you're not getting it. Like, there are no burpees. All right. So again, for those who want to get started, first step is a free conversation. Talk about what's going on with you. This is the link. I already mentioned there's 3 spots open, and let me show you how this page works. I've lost my little pointer guy. There he is. Control, click. So when you go to lisaduke.net/schedule, there is a video that gives you some information on the program. And then under the video, there is the calendar. And if you are like me, I will say next week is much, much better for me. So if it's all the same to you, like let's go to next week. Lots of appointments available next week. If you are like me, I don't like to get on a conversation with somebody if I don't know the price. So pick your day and time. It'll take you to the next screen. The next screen tells you what the price would be for a package. So I don't like to, I don't want to be there when somebody gets surprised by that live. I like for you to have time to contemplate that. Yes, Miss Kimber.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Okay,
I didn't see were you showing your schedule?
Oh.
I didn't see that.
Oh, because I didn't do share screen. Dude,
Yeah.
technology. All right, thank you. Let me scroll back up to the top of that. Yeah, I was taking the time to show how that works. I should actually share my screen so you can see it. All right, so lisaduke.net/schedule takes you here. There is the video. And then there is the calendar. Like I said, next week is better. Trying to catch up on some post-tax admin stuff that got neglected. But pick a time next week. And then after you pick your day and your time, the next screen that it takes you to has the price. So you know before you get on what the price is. And then there's some more propaganda here about how great it is. I do have some client results out here. And then the best thing is the testimonials. So I've got a couple little screenshots, but then I've got videos too. Debbie is now down 65 pounds, and that is like a big results not typical. She only came for 1 month. She did 4 sessions and she's lost all this weight. And every time I see her, she's, Donna, she's actually local. She's in Vero, I believe. I always see her in Vero. If she's not in Vero, she's in PSL, but she's in, sorry, not, is that Vero? I think so. Anyway, north of me and south of you, I think. And she just went bonkers. And every time I see her, I'm like, well, I'm glad it's working, but you didn't get like the whole thing. So if you get stuck, if you plateau, I would love for you to, like, I have some anxiety that she hasn't finished the whole thing, but it hasn't seemed to have mattered to her. So she's just going gangbusters. So there are some testimonials videos here. There's actually more on the YouTube channel. And then some more screenshots there. And we've got people on live. So hopefully that helps as well. So let me stop sharing and just kind of see any questions before we part ways.
No, but I like this group thing.
Yay! I do think it helps. I really encourage, and right, like, let's be real, it's marketing, it's a business trying to sell something, but I really do encourage the current clients and the past clients to come on. I mean, again, yes, it helps me. It's a little bit of like, it makes it real, but also while the one-on-one is super powerful, it's private, it's completely custom, it's focused on you. And also there is something very powerful about being in the group setting and kind of realizing like, oh, I'm not the only one that has this. A lot of people have this problem. Like, it's just very, very powerful. And when you're working with me one-on-one, your brain is like frantically trying to keep up with what's happening and like answering the questions and repeating the statements. It doesn't have a chance to kind of get perspective on what is happening. So I think there's actually things that we miss when we're one-on-one that we can more easily see when it's somebody else. Like I would like you Kimber might not have realized when your brain switched teams, but and Donna, did you notice that when she was like, "Oh, I could do portion control." Did you see that?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know if you saw it or not, but to somebody who's not inside your brain, it was like, "Oh, there it is." And even if somebody doesn't have the exact problem that we're tapping on, it's kind of like we all think like, well, my problem is very real and very difficult to solve. But that other problem that I don't have, like, that's a dumb thought. Just stop thinking that thought, right? It's really easy to see when it's somebody else's that you don't have, but then it opens up that possibility of like, oh, I think my problem is real and her problem is silly, but maybe my problem is also silly and I could like choose to shift and see it differently and maybe not, right? There are some of these, we're not going for perfection. We're just really trying to some little subtle shifts in the thinking that allow for little subtle shifts in how we feel, that allow for little subtle shifts in how we act. And those little subtle shifts over time really help us make the difference. So it's not about trying to be perfect. Saturday night, a couple of my friends and I got together. Saturday was my birthday. And yay, I'm 49. Got the ring
Wow.
light. That helps. Very flattering light, but still. So I did choose to have a salad for dinner because I've gotten to the point where I like salad and that doesn't feel like punishment. Like, and I had steak on the salad. Like I had red meat. I don't really usually have red meat at home a lot because I think it's kind of like gross when it's raw. And it's not super great for you, right? But I'll have it when I'm out because that automatically limits how often I had it. So I had a salad with steak. And then at the end, they were like, hey, since it's your birthday, we bring you a free dessert. And I'm like, hell yeah, I want the free dessert. They do a really good flourless chocolate cake. It was, Don, I don't know if you know Cafe Martier in downtown Stewart.
Nope.
It's cute. We should go there sometime. It's very cute. But yeah, so now I will say I did not eat all of it, but I ate more than half. I had a friend that had some, and then we passed the plate down to the other end of the table. Somebody else had some. But yeah, so I'm not perfect. I'm not trying to be perfect. And I don't think we have to be perfect to lose weight. At some point, we do kind of plateau out and we have to kind of tighten up our game. Like if I wanted to lose more, okay, like maybe the dessert needs to be once a year, not once a week or every 2 weeks, right? Like I might need to tighten up a little more. But to get from like where we are, right? Like let's just say you do have to be perfect to get to your goal weight. You can lose an awful lot of weight while not being perfect. Make a lot of progress. So we may not ever get like if your goal weight does require perfect, you might not ever get to perfect, but could you lose 75 pounds of 75 pounds, 75% of what you're trying to lose while still being imperfect? Yeah, absolutely. So it's just making those little tweaks over time. So, all right, any last thoughts or questions?
Sorry, I don't understand how we find out payment or
Oh,
fees.
yeah, I will give you the link. Hang on.
Well, I'm on the link. So
Oh,
the
okay.
first step is setting up a consult. And
Yes.
then if I choose to go forward, then when I set up a meeting, that's when I see.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
yeah, but I'm not trying to be super sneaky about it. Let me just put it up.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Yeah, did you find it? I will
Oh, is it on the?
hang on. I will show you because it's not secret. Oh, dude, if I could work the computer. Here we go. Share screen.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's okay. So this is because I'm recording. I think I'm recording.
Yeah, you're still recording.
Okay. Yeah. That's the only reason I didn't want to show it. So this
Oh.
is the this is the price as of April 2023. It could change. So you pick your date and time. You put in your information, and the price is right here. So for new clients coming in, $6.95 for the first 4 sessions. Yep. Email support, lifetime access to the materials. And then if you do that 4 times, right? Like, we are all humans. You know, I can't necessarily guarantee you the results, but I can guarantee you're either going to get results or get your money. And I really like money. I want to keep your money. So I'm very motivated to do whatever I can to get you results. So, you know, free will is still a thing. You know, I can't make anybody do anything, but I've had pretty good results. I have had, I don't know exactly how many clients I've had come through since I started focusing on the weight coaching, so I can't give you a percentage, but I have had 2 that have completed the 4-month program and did not lose weight during the course of the program. One of them is still a client. We're now 8 months in. Bless her heart, she still hasn't lost weight, but and I don't guarantee more than the 4 months, so she's on her own dime now. But so many huge changes. Like, her life is so super different. She's feeling so much better, like less physical pain. At some point, we're going to get to whatever's in the way. But it's been so valuable for her that she just, and I keep saying, I'm like, are you sure you want to keep going? And she's like loving it. So we've kept going. I have another one who got to the 4 months, had not lost weight. She has an intention to continue. We did do like 1 or 2 more months, and then she had like family caretaking drama come up. So we took a break, and she's now coming back. I've got her back on my schedule for May. So I think that says something too, right? That, you know, and again, this could change tomorrow. Somebody could complete and not want to continue, and that's allowed. But so far, nobody's taken me up on the guarantee. So I think that's a pretty good sign. People are getting value if they're continuing to pay, I assume.
And also, how long are the sessions? Are they half hour? Because what are they?
They're an hour.
Because when you look at the calendar, like it'll say 2:30. So do I have to block out 2 and 2:30?
No, just pick whatever time. If 2 is good for you, just pick 2 and fill out the information, and it will
Adjust.
Yeah. And then for the next person coming in, they won't see 2 or 2:30. Their first available will be 3. So, and that's one thing too, like, hopefully this is obvious, but I just try to be super transparent. When I say there are 3 spots open, I mean, I am able to take on 3 additional coaching clients. There are more than 3 spots open on my calendar for next week, primarily because the clients that I haven't met, like, I met with people today and they're booked on for next week, but Donna and I are meeting, I think, Thursday. So she's not on my calendar for next week. So as of right now, like, you can kind of get in there whenever. And then when I meet with her, you know, we'll book her on. So.
And so are the 4 weeks, are they consecutive or?
That's my recommendation, but it's not, you know, it's not God's law. So I would say try to come every week because you get some momentum. We're able to troubleshoot. But like, I have a client right now who's in Hawaii with her family. And she was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it or not. And I was like, why don't we just skip this week? And she was like, no, I kind of still, like, I want to keep my momentum. I still want to come. So I was like, well, if you think you can get away, you can. And she was like, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get away or not. So what we ended up doing, I was like, well, let's just schedule for this week and for next week. If you get there and based on the housing situation, you don't have any privacy, then just let me know. So that's what we ended up doing. She's like, now that I'm here, I don't think there's going to be a way for me to like get away on my own. So we canceled this week and she's already got next week. And, you know, I'm again pretty flexible. So if you have like a work reason or a life reason why you can't come, it's not going to like mess everything up if we, or me, right? I don't have anything on the calendar until August. I know I'm going to be at a conference the end of August. So if I were gone that whole week, we would just not meet that week and meet the following week. Cool beans.
Okay.
Well, we are nearly at time. It was nice to see you. Hi, Francesca. Just since I didn't say hi to you, I wanted to like officially. I don't know if she wants to be outed or not, but Francesca is also a client. I won't make you come on because I know we're still like early stages, but You're also, can I talk about you? Do you take on additional clients? Because you're also a web designer, correct? Yeah.
Cool.
So if anybody needs a really good web designer, her website is beautiful. Let me know. And if she's looking for new clients, I can connect you. I'm like a big business matchmaker. Kim, I know, Donna, you are retired, although you are also fabulous. But Kimber, what do you do for a living in Chicago?
Sorry.
Ooh,
I work in advertising.
oh, cool.
So sorry. I produce photo and video shoots
Oh,
for
cool.
some
Oh,
days. But right
okay.
now I'm actually unemployed, so
You're out of unemployed. Okay, so you're between opportunities. Gotcha. You're between opportunities. Cool. Yeah, that's a very good skill set to have right now, I would think, because, video is where it's at. So, all right, I'm going to let everybody go. If you have any other questions, my email, I'll put it in the chat. It's just lisa@lisa.net. And I answer my own email still. I might not someday, but right now, it's me.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a good week. Drink water, eat
You too.
vegetables.
Right.